Well, good morning and welcome to the Hope Community Church vlog, episode number 5. I hope you're having a good day. We've just been going through the Lord's Prayer line by line, day by day, and having a great time doing it. I mean, I'm having a great time. Hope you are as well at home. It's been great to hear that you're listening to it, and naturally your kids are listening to it and wanting to listen to it as well. So hopefully you can keep enjoying and getting stuff out from this. That's my prayer anyway. We've seen quite a bit over the last few days. We've seen what it looks like to pray to our Father in heaven. We've seen what it means to pray that his name would be hallowed, would be made holy. We've seen last time what it means to pray that God's kingdom would come. And today we're just going to look at the next few words. Your will be done. What does it mean to pray, God, your will be done? When I was thinking about this, I was reflecting a little bit on some of the words of Jesus when he said, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves, take up their cross and follow me. And what always strikes me about this is he says, whoever wants to be my disciple. This is basic what it means to follow Jesus. Like discipleship 101, this isn't just for the professional Christians, this isn't just for the super Christians, the church leaders and the missionaries and the evangelists and all of that. This is basic, bog standard Christianity. Deny yourself, take up your cross and follow me. For Jesus, to be one of his disciples is to deny yourself, to say no to what you want to happen, and to take up your cross, to be willing to give up everything, to be willing to pay the price, whatever that is, to follow Jesus. And of course, we don't really see much of a cost here in following Jesus. It doesn't feel like it anyway, compared to our brothers and sisters in other parts of the world who are paying tremendous price for Jesus. And you know, we can think, that sounds a bit harsh, doesn't it? Be willing to give up everything for God. But what I always find helpful to remember is that Jesus is only asking us to pray the prayer that he himself was willing to pray. Do you remember in the Garden of Gethsemane, when Jesus is agonizing about the fact that he's about to die in the most horrific way, and as he dies, take on himself the whole sins of the world? What does he say to the Father? Father, if there's anything you can do to take this cup of your judgment away from me, then do it. But not my will, but yours be done. You see, Jesus going to the cross to give up everything for us was an act of obedience, saying, not my will, but your will be done. He was praying and living the Lord's Prayer in the garden. So when we're called to go God's way, to live God's way, to say to God, your will be done, what we're doing is we're giving up for the God who has already given up everything for us. The God who has already given up more than we could ever imagine. We don't come to a God who takes from us, but we come to a God who has given everything for us. Your will be done, not mine. So what does this look like for you this week? On your street, what does it look like? You know, what's easier is to kind of hide ourselves off and just look after ourselves. But if we were to pray, God, how can I do your will on my street? What would you be doing if you were here? What would Jesus be doing if he was here in my street right now? God, give me the strength to do that. What does that look like for your street? What about in your relationships? Family, friendships. It's so easy to be selfish, isn't it? To be grumpy. That's what's easier. That's my will. What is God's will for your relationships? And how can you step into that? What about your money? I know what's easier. What's easier is to hoard and save. But what is God's will for your money? If Jesus had your money, what would he do with it? What about anxiety? And this is tricky because we do live in really anxious times, and for many people it's triggering off our anxiety. You know, I was just reflecting this morning as I had a text from a family member who's really anxious at the moment. Actually, anxiety is sometimes the easiest thing to do. to be? What does it look like to ask God's will to be done, even in our anxiety? What would that look like? I was reading in scripture this morning, just Psalm 37, and there's this phrase that stuck out to me. Trust in God and do good. It was really simple, but it stuck out to me for these times. What can we do with our anxiety? Well, we can choose to trust in God, and that's an active thing. We choose to place our trust in Him by spending time with Him, by worshipping, by declaring what we know to be true. Trust in God and do what is good. I think that's what Jesus did when He was anxious, when He was worried, when He was nervous. He trusted in God and did what He knew was good. How can you do that this week? Your will be done. Father, I pray that that's a prayer we will be praying today. Your will be done. Blessings.